Welcome to the Narrative Mindset Podcast. This is your first time tuning in. Feel free to go back and review previous episodes. This is called Unstoppable. I spent years thinking I was untouchable. Money, fame, power. I had all of it. I thought those things gave me control, gave me the right to do what I wanted, when I wanted, how I wanted. But the truth is, I was never in control. Not once. I was running from myself, from pain, from the emptiness I didn't want to face. And every time I felt that emptiness, I filled it with something. Women, drugs, parties, business deals. Anything that would keep me from sitting still long enough to see the truth. I built an image, and I lived inside that image so long that I started believing it was real. I told myself I was the leader, the boss, the man who had it all figured out. But the truth, I was broken, I was scared, and I was lost. People cheered for me. People praised me. And instead of taking that love and being grateful, I used it like a weapon. I thought they believe in me, so I can do whatever I want. And I did. But here I am now, stripped down. No more lies to hide behind. No more excuses to reach for. And I have to admit something I never thought I'd say out loud. I hurt people. I destroyed trust. I ruined lives, mine included. I want to make this clear because this isn't about saving face. This isn't about spinning the story one last time. I've been spinning stories my whole life. And the only thing I've ever got, me, was more chains, more weight on my back, more nights staring at the ceiling, knowing deep down I wasn't who I said I was. So here's the truth. I had everything people dream of, and I threw it away. And not because somebody tricked me, not because I was a victim, not because the world was unfair. No, it was me. I chose the lies. I chose the greed. I chose to put myself first, even when it meant stepping on people who loved me, who trusted me, who only wanted to see me win. And now I see it clearer than ever. When you live for the image, when you live for the applause, you lose yourself. You stop being a man and you become a shell that cracks the moment the spotlight fades. That's how it started. It started small, a little ego here, a little pride there. I told myself I deserved it. I worked hard. So I deserved the women. I deserved the late nights. I deserved the fast money. That's how it begins. You convince yourself you're owed something. And the more I got, the more I thought the rules didn't apply to me. Everybody else had limits. Everybody else had to follow laws, keep their word, respect boundaries. But me? No, I was different. Or at least that's what I told myself. I wore power like a mask. I put it on and walked into every room like I was untouchable. People believed me. And because they believed it, I believed it too. But behind the mask, I was crumbling. I couldn't sleep without something in my system. I couldn't wake up without a plan to escape the silence. I couldn't look at myself without wondering how much longer I could keep it together before the whole thing fell apart. I pushed away the people who tried to tell me the truth. Anyone who stood in my way, I cut them off. If they questioned me, they became the enemy. If they wanted me to slow down, they were jealous. If they called out my behavior, they were haters. That was my favorite word, haters. It made me feel like I was doing something right. But all it really did was give me permission to keep doing wrong. I lost good people that way. I lost friends who cared. I lost family who tried to warn me. I didn't want to hear it. I wanted yes men. People who smiled when I walked in and never told me no. And that's the big thing about power. If you're not careful, it surrounds you with people who don't care about you, only about what they can get. They clap while you burn your life down, as long as they get a piece of the fire. But the truth is, I can't blame them, because I invited it. I made their word. I set the rules, and I set myself up to lose. The first crack showed up when I couldn't keep my lies straight anymore. Too many secrets, too many nights I couldn't remember, too many promises I broke. People started to whisper. Stories started to leak. And instead of facing it, I doubled down. More lies, more money thrown at problems, more fake smiles. But you can't buy peace. You can't lie your way into freedom. You can't drink or party or fight your way out of the truth. I know that now. But back then I thought I was still in control. I wasn't powerful. I was exposed. I wasn't the man in charge. I was the man cornered. I thought the worst part would be losing the money, losing the fame, losing the lifestyle. But that wasn't it. The worst part was losing myself, sitting alone, realizing I didn't even know who I was without all that noise around me. I had to sit with the memories of every choice I made, the faces of people I betrayed, the family I pushed away, the friends I turned into enemies. I replayed it all, over and over, and I couldn't escape it anymore. And for the first time, I couldn't point the finger at anybody else. No manager, no enemy, no hater, just me. That's when the truth broke me, because I realized I spent my whole life building a throne out of lies. And the higher I climbed, the harder the fall was. Always gonna be. But here's the part people don't see. There's a strange kind of freedom in hitting the bottom. Because once you're here, there's nothing left to protect. No more image. No more excuses. Just the truth. And that's where I am now. I realized that losing the money, losing the fame, losing the lifestyle wasn't the hardest part. The hardest part was losing myself. I had spent so many years hiding behind the noise, the parties, the cameras, the attention. And when it all stopped, I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't recognize the man in the mirror. And I couldn't remember the person I wanted to be. I had to face every choice I had made, every promise I had broken, every person I had hurt, every friend I had dismissed, every family member I had ignored. And I couldn't look away. I couldn't distract myself. I couldn't run anymore. The lies I had told, the walls I had built around myself, the excuses I had leaned on, they all came crashing down at once. See, the truth doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care about how clever you are. how much money you have, or how many people you fool. It just waits. And the longer you wait, the heavier it gets, until you finally have to bear it. I learned that the hard way. I learned it in the silence of the nights I couldn't sleep, in the mirrors I avoided, in the faces of people I had lost along the way. All the victories I thought mattered, the deals, the attention, the clout. None of them meant anything if I had to compromise my soul to get them. I see that clearly now. I see how easy it is to let ambition blind you, to let pride convince you that you're untouchable, to let fear of weakness push you into actions that destroy yourself and everyone around you. I know I'm not the only one who's done this. I know people listening have made choices they regret, choices they thought would get them ahead, make life easier, make them untouchable. But it doesn't work like that, not in the long run. The truth catches up, always. So here I am, saying it out loud, admitting it, feeling the weight of it. And at the same time, feeling something I haven't felt in years. A chance to start over. A chance to rebuild from honesty. A chance to grow from the mistakes instead of hiding them. I know it won't be easy. And I know it won't be fast. But I also know it's the only way forward. I had to face the consequences of everything I had done. Nothing was holding back anymore. The walls I had built to protect myself crumbled. And suddenly, I was standing in the middle of the wreckage, looking at the people I had hurt, the relationships I had destroyed, the trust I had shattered. It hit me like a weight I couldn't lift, a weight I had spent years ignoring because I thought I could outrun it. But you can't outrun the truth. It waits for you, and it'll always find you when you're ready. I had to stop blaming everyone else, stop pointing fingers, stop pretending circumstances weren't anyone's fault but my own. Every decision, every action, every lie, every selfish move, that was on me. No excuses, no hiding behind fame, power, or money. It was mine. I realized the hardest truth of it all: the people I hurt, they deserve better. They deserve honesty. They deserve my respect. They deserve a version of me that I wasn't ready to give for so long. And I had taken that from them. I had failed. And I had to own it. Facing that, the shame, the regret, the disappointment, it's overwhelming. It's suffocating. But I also see now that it's necessary. It's necessary because it's real. It's necessary because it forces you to grow. It forces you to understand that the life you thought you had control over was never real. The only control you ever have is over yourself and your actions. And from this point forward, I want anyone listening to hear this. You can't lie to yourself. You can pretend you're someone you're not. You can't use excuses, distractions, or material things to cover up the fact that you're hurting people and yourself. The sooner you face it, the sooner you start repairing, the sooner you start living with integrity, I won't say it's easy. It's not. Some days it feels impossible. Some nights the weight presses down like it never will lift. But you got to keep going. You got to keep admitting. You got to keep facing yourself. You have to keep choosing the truth, even when it hurts more than anything else. And in that choice, in that struggle, I've begun to understand something I never did before. Freedom isn't about what you have. Freedom isn't about power, the money, the recognition. Freedom is about honesty. Freedom is about accountability. Freedom is about facing yourself and refusing to hide, no matter how heavy it gets. I don't know what comes next. I don't know how long it will take to rebuild or who will forgive and what I'll have left when it's all said and done. But I do know this. I won't lie anymore. I won't hide anymore. I won't run from myself anymore. And in that, maybe, just maybe, I'll find the life I should have been living all along. Not perfect, not glamorous, not untouchable. Just real, just honest, just mine. You can't outrun yourself. You can't hide from your choices. The only way to live with any peace is to stop running, to face the truth, and to start being the person you know you are capable of being. That's the lesson. That's the truth. And that's the only way forward.